Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode Ukraine fell, and we need to decide who we want to attack next. So it could be this tiny little Sweden up here. It could also be Japan. I think these are both reasonable options. Beyond that, we could start trying to break through this line down here. The Ottoman Empire might be an interesting one to go for there. I don't actually expect the Ottoman Empire to be all that strong, and that would be a pretty big gain that we could theoretically get. But that's all going to be building up world tension. And the more world tension we build up, the tougher this is going to get for us. So we need to remember that. Let's take a look at Sweden out over here. We don't have a war justification. Okay. So if we justified here, that would give 3 world tension. You know what? We'll take that. So we'll get that started. We can also start to think about one on Japan. There is a crossing here. Is there a crossing here in this game? There is not. There's a crossing here, which would allow us to do a land-based attack here, in theory. Okay. So that would mean attacking Hokkaido. And we could definitely do that. If we were to justify on them, that would be an additional 3% world tension. Let's do it. And then we could also start justifying on Japan. I think we might wait on this one, although it would take 470 days. We should probably... Well, it's going to take longer the more justifications we're doing simultaneously. This one is going to take 235 days. Do we want to get started on this? We're not in the biggest of rushes right now. Let's get going on that. We'll let that world tension build up. We are mostly chilling until such a time as that is complete. Now, out over here, we're going to need to do some form of naval invasion, and that is going to be potentially spicy. We'll hop over to our navy, and I would like to move these guys into this task force. Okay, this is our reserve fleet? No, that's just a task force. Why can't we move this task force in here? I guess we'll just put that into the reserve fleet. That's fine. And from here, I want to have these guys come patrol up over here for now. So they're going to patrol up here rather than down in the Black Sea. So up we go. That'll be fine. Okay, so we're currently repairing in Kuban. That's probably okay. No major issue there for now. So as far as that goes, we're going to need probably... Do these guys even have an army? Allegedly. So I'm going to tell these guys to prepare a naval invasion from here to here. And the most we can do is 10 divisions. That's okay. And they'll execute that as soon as they are ready. Fantastic. So that seems good. We're seeing some hitching here, which is a little bit unusual. I wonder if that's because Steam is currently doing some patching. Let's tell Steam to pause that. Hopefully that fixes it. We're now auto-saving, and I think it's slightly better, so that would be good. This armored division can head on over to here, of course. No, wait. Here. But these 2 infantry divisions need to head in here. Okay. We need to get better at that discipline, for sure. Okay, so next up is our bomber aircraft production. We are going to definitely grab that. Sounds good. We do have some doctrines available as well, specifically an air doctrine. Naval strike torpedo tactics sounds good. We have a region-wide industrial integration that we can take. That seems fine. And we have insufficient resources, so we do need additional rubber. To that end, I kind of want to build some synthetic refineries, but that does require synthetic oil experiments, which we don't yet have. So how are we doing technologically here? The answer is research. We're going to have improved anti-tank upgrade 2 done in 10 days. Okay, we can definitely work with that. That seems absolutely fine. So 7 days now. And when is this going to be done again? It should be pretty short. 155? Yeah, that's okay. So we're going to have no real problem taking that over, and no one's really going to care all that much. So that seems okay. This armored division is now complete, and we will move that in over here. I thought I moved these tank units, or rather these infantry units. And this is an armored division here. Get over there. Okay. Let's make sure that these are all correct. since apparently we're having problems with that. Yeah, that seems good. Okay, so we do have a number of these that don't have orders, which is understandable. We need to figure out where we want them to ultimately go. And the answer is I want this army to come down over here. Now, there's no connection here, so we'll have to prepare here. To that end, we should probably build a level 1, at least, naval base here. I'm going to max out a naval base up here. That'll be fine. And I'm going to have this army group come and front line right here. 44 divisions is a lot of divisions. This is probably too many. We'll think about pulling units out of there a little bit later on. They are unable to find a valid path to target. These guys are not supposed to patrol down here. Okay, there we go. And apparently we have naval range issues. But we're just moving right through it without any problems. Okay. Absolutely fine. So we're lacking a path to get here, and the reason for that is because we don't have this naval base finished, right? So we're going to get that done as soon as we can. I also want to get synthetic refineries going here. So we'll go ahead and research that. That'll be a while, actually. 214 days? I didn't expect it to be that long. It's a 1936 tech. Okay. That's going to be a little while. So we have a medium tank template here, which is, of course, not actually a medium tank template. No, that is a medium tank template. Did we not delete our medium tank template? Okay, I'm going to disband this because we don't want a medium tank template. Do we have any medium tank templates in here? We do. So I'm going to disband this one as well. I want to go into our templates. So that is, of course, in here. And these are the templates we have right now. We appear to have inherited some of these. Okay, I want to get rid of most of these division types. 7 divisions are using this infantry division template. That's a garrison division. Hang on. This infantry division template is ours, I believe. This one is ours. This one is not. Okay, so we want to upgrade these over. Right? We need to decommission this. It is going to be like that. So we're going to decommission all of those. That'll be fine. Now, we're going to have to go through and find which are our infantry divisions and which are the other infantry divisions. That's mildly awkward. So, if we do this, that gets us our infantry divisions. If we do this, that gets us the other infantry division. Okay, let's disband that. And we can see there's another one here. Okay, I kind of want to just invert selection at this point, but it looks like... Am I correct in saying every single foreign division is not one? There's also this guy here. Yeah, this should definitely be disbanded. Okay. So that is all absolutely fine. Then we have the foreign divisions here, which are actually incorrect division types. So I'm going to disband those. And that's fine. Now, in here, we can see there's a few down this way. So these are the wrong types of infantry division, I believe. Yes. Cool. Out over here, what do we got? Actually, quite a lot of these. Noted. So we can look at this by saying the overall manpower would probably tell us, right? In theory. But this is not the type of unit that we want. So this is definitely the correct unit here. So we can see that all of these are correct, all of these are wrong. So that's okay. We can get rid of all of these guys. Boom. We're downsizing our army right now, yes, but in theory, this will be an upgrade. Okay, so I would like to split these guys off or just invert this selection. I wish there was an invert selection button. We could just change division template for these, can't we? But these are expeditionary forces and cannot switch division templates. So for the time being, we might just want to get rid of all expeditionary forces, because it looks like those are broadly building the wrong infantry divisions. So we can do something along the lines of this. Okay, I'm going to disband those. And I want to double check that these are all correct. Well, this one isn't. Okay. We could upgrade that, though. So all of these should now be correct. Okay. That looks good. Now, out over here, what do we got going on? So these expeditionary forces appear to be the primary culprit. This guy I would like to upgrade, but that is apparently an expeditionary force, despite there not actually being a flag there. Intriguing. So it's definitely the expeditionary forces that are the problem here. Gotcha. So we are simply going to head down about like that, disband these guys, and then double check that we're good here. This one might not be correct. Excellent. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. Okay, down in this infantry unit now, we can take a look at what we've got. Most of these are, I think, going to be incorrect at this time. So let's see here. This is basically these guys. We may want to just split this off and disband the rest. So we could unassign these guys and then put them into a new section over here. These guys in here should... They're actually... Or no, this is the wrong army. We need this army. All of these should be an incorrect template at this time. Let's double check these. And double check this guy. Yes, all of these are incorrect templates. So we're going to disband that. In fact, disband this entire army. We're going to move this army in, and we're going to assign that commander back here. Okay. So now we have a lot less infantry. That is definitely noted, and we should probably ramp up our infantry recruitment. We're currently recruiting 8 divisions of armor, and let's recruit something like 4 units of infantry. We don't need that much infantry, but we do need a decent amount. Actually, let's bump this up to be, like, also 8. Okay, so this is an expeditionary force here. I'm going to start putting these into a special expeditionary army group. So that's going to hop into a new army here, and that is going to be made into a new army group. And for now, what do we want these guys to do? Well, we can have them just kind of chill for the moment. There's not a lot for them to do, although they could go, like, form a bit of a front against the Ottomans over here. That's a theoretical possibility. We could certainly have them go do that. Okay, so now that we've got that sorted out, we should have much better performance out of our infantry, which would be absolutely great. Let's hop over into here and see about getting... Let's see, this guy is going to be leading our tank force. Division recovery is pretty decent, but I think we're going to take armor specialist. There we go. So that sounds good, and then we can assign a preferred tactic for this guy. Now, he is in our defensive infantry here, so elastic defense is probably ideal for him. This guy is going to be an infantry specialist. There we go. That looks good. And then this guy can also be an infantry specialist. And we can give him a trait. So what do we want to get? Logistics wizard actually sounds really, really good here. Minus 15% supply consumption is huge. So that'll be great. We'll take that. That sounds wonderful. So we're going to do another region-wide industrial integration here. And now that we have reorganized our armies a little bit, things should get slightly better in theory. So this guy is currently preparing to do this invasion. That'll be fine. This is an armored division, and that, of course, goes here. Beautiful. So we have a research slot available, and I would like to take, like, guided missile, too. That won't really help any of our equipment other than rocket artillery, which we're not using, but that would be fine. Out over this way, has anyone actually arrived here? Only 21 divisions, but that is kind of expected. But we want everyone heading out here, including this infantry. They weren't assigned to this, and that does make sense. So we're going to send them over. This is now 27 divisions instead of 44. That will be better on the supply, but it's going to be not great. That's for sure. We'll see how that ends up going, but for now, our infantry are going to be hopping into this army, and that'll be absolutely fine. I'm not expecting any major issues with this attack, so that should be also absolutely okay. Let's check in real quick on our justification progress. 61 out of 155. Okay, sounds good. So this will finish on 27 March. We've got about 3 months. Excellent. So engines 4 finishing for our planes. That is also in the category of excellent. So all of this is good to go. We need jet engines before we can get all of this going, so that's fine. Next, we could grab atomic research. That is a theoretical option. We could also, of course, grab concentrated industry 5 or fuel refining 5, both of which would be pretty decent. So we'll continue to work on that for right now. Have we had any troops arrive in our border with Hokkaido yet? No, is the answer. The next question is, there's no connection here, right? But this is all one state, in theory. So I think we can just attack from here directly to here, which would be the idea. We'll see how that goes. This is an expeditionary infantry division, so we'll sort that into our expeditionary army. And we may want to put our expeditionary army like out over here or one of these armies. I don't know. We're not sure exactly when this attack on Japan is going to happen. It's going to take a little while. This is another expeditionary force, which we'll put into our expeditionary army group, which will be absolutely fine. We've been working our way through this. I don't think it's, strictly speaking, necessary at this time. So for the moment, we could start working on naval researches, but that would require working on navies, and why would we want to do that? Navies are navies, and they don't exist. We're going to grab fuel refining 5. Perfect. Next up is these 3 infantry divisions. All of these are our template, and so they are going to hop into this army. Fantastic. That army doesn't have orders, but they're going to fill out this army group a little bit. Cool. So that'll be fine. In fact, I'm going to merge these guys into this army group as well. So we're going to move them over. There we go. And I'm going to give these guys that commander. Perfect. The reason I wanted to do that is because I want this army group to pretty much just be offense and this army group to just be defense going forward. This is going to be tanks. This is not. So that should be absolutely fine. We're going to continue to work through this. I want to check in on our tank production deficit at this point. 4587. Okay, we're making 25 per day. We're nearly capped out on our production efficiency. That's looking solid. Now, jet engines have finished, and I do want to grab modern small airframes, which will actually be really quick here. Beautiful. No problem whatsoever there. We can do a region-wide industrial integration, which we might as well do. And how are we doing on that research on synthetic fuel? Well, the answer to that is we're 151 days out. Okay. This is another armored division that is one of ours, and that, of course, will head into this army group, which will be absolutely fine. That army is nearly full, so we'll need to make a new army relatively soon. Everything's looking good on that front. We have a little bit over a month until we can do this war. And, of course, world tension is going up right now. No doubt about that, due to our justifications. It's changing by half a point per month, but it minimums out at 25%. So we don't want to just idle for a really long time. Eventually, we're going to have problems, right? And that's relatively okay. We're very powerful in this current situation, though, and the longer that we wait before we have those problems, the better off we are because of the compliance down in China. China compliance is actually very key to our overall strategy here, because taking China for the manpower was a very, very big deal, and our eligible non-core population is becoming more and more available, which is good. Very, very good. So that's looking fantastic. This is another armored division ready to be moved into this army, and we'll do exactly that. And how are we seeing supplies down over here? Yeah, there's not great supplies here. So if we look at our supply flow here, we can see demanded supplies of 5 currently. And, I mean, it's not fantastic, right? Supplies are very limited out here. We're working on it. We only have 3 levels of port built. So that will require additional work. but we'll get there very soon. So that's all looking relatively good on that front. I don't think we need huge amounts of supplies for this anyway. That shouldn't be a very significant war. So that all looks great. We are going to be launching this attack in a few days here, and I don't expect to see any serious resistance here. We'll see, but I really don't expect serious resistance. Maybe unserious resistance. That might be a thing. We'll do another region-wide industrial integration here. Spain has reached out to form a new alliance, the European Confederation. Okay. Argentina, Brazil, Cuba, and Spain. That sounds very European. Very, very European. Okay. That is exciting. We can see the factions map mode here, and yeah, that is not as European as it says on the tin, to be honest. That's mostly South American. So that's pretty much Spain and, like, Spain's holdings, right? I believe Brazil is, in this game, controlled by Spain. Actually, Brazil is actually independent. Okay, they're also fascist. That's noted. Spain is also fascist. So we don't actually hate them. That's fine. That is absolutely okay. For the time being, of course, we're still working on Sweden up over here. We want to get that under our control. I also am interested in potentially dropping some of our subjects. Autonomy effect from master building. Oh, that would do it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this armored division is now done. We just finished up the streamlined line, and we're going to send that armored division in here. This is now a full army of tanks. I like it. We do have a technology to research here, and that is probably going to end up being atomic research. We wouldn't mind getting a few nuclear plants going, after all, and starting a nuclear stockpile. That would be a not bad thing, so we'll get started on that. We are going to be launching an attack out over here in Hokkaido soon enough, but for the moment, we're a ways off on that. That finishes in June, so that is fine. And then our Japan is going to be in February of next year. Okay, that's going to be a while. I don't know if that speeds up once we finish one of our existing ones, or if it just is what it is. We'll see. If it is what it is, we might attack the Ottomans first. But for now, of course, our first order of business here is Sweden, and that's right now. So our justification has finished. If we were to declare war here, how much world tension would that be? Well, it would be 8, and we'll accept that. So we'll declare war on Sweden, and these guys are heading on in, and Sweden joined the European Confederation. And Sweden has capitulated. But Spain just joined Sweden as our enemy, as did Brazil. Okay, so can we get to Spain? That is intriguing, but Sweden has fallen at this time. So, we have this tank. We're going to need a new army for that, and we can move that in over here. We're going to need a new commander for that, so we'll need to show field commanders, and we'll need to promote up this guy. Then that will go in here. There we go. We don't have anybody for this army group, and that's understood. So Spain and Brazil have joined in. The question is, can we get to them? The answer to that is a definite maybe. A definite maybe. So we wouldn't mind taking over all of this territory. No doubt about that. All of this being Russian would be fantastic. Oh, the Philippines is also in this. That is noted. So we're not very good at naval invasions. That also bears noting. I believe we need to come down over here and grab Marines 1, Marines 2, and Marines 3. No, that is not what actually increases our amount of invading troops. Where is that? That is in here somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Unless they've changed it, which is a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. I thought it was down here, but it was a separate thing, not like a special forces thing. Maybe it's in naval support now. Yes, transports. Okay. So that is absolutely a thing. And the question is, how do we want to handle this war? Well, for the time being, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we will determine that. That does mean we're probably going to put this attack out over here on hold. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. I would rather crush people without having more people, is the idea. So we'll see what ends up happening with that, and we're probably going to launch an invasion of Spain and Brazil and Philippines eventually. The question is, how long will that take? You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kintogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri 8, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.